Hey everybody, I'm Joey and I'm excited to show you some really fun blending techniques with ink and blending brushes today with a beautiful bundle. It's called Thankful Garden, and I'm also going to show you some with another bundle that's actually on sale. Actually, the bundle is not on sale, but all of the products in it. So it's a stamp set and dies and masks called Enduring Beauty. So we're going to have some fun with masks and ink today. I hope that you'll say hello when you pop on, even if you're watching replay. If you are watching on YouTube, it should be live both on YouTube and Facebook if I haven't set it up right. I think it's, hang on here, let me check for a second. And look, it says I'm live. So when you come on, make sure you say hello. I'm a few minutes late today. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm here now and I'm excited to share with you. If you enjoyed the video, I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like and follow my Facebook page. I am trying to grow and that really helps me, and I really appreciate it. Alrighty, so I think, do I see any comments coming in yet? It always takes just a minute or two. Oh, there we go. Cynthia, you're here. Cynthia was at my team meeting last night and we had a good time, everybody that was there. And let's see, who else have I got here? There's a light. I have a new light on my, there, I moved it. A light on my screen. Hi, Georgia. Am I missing something? What? The page says Friday, but the date is today. Hi, Janet. Oh, you know what happened? Last week it was Friday because I was off my schedule last week, and I bet there's someplace I forgot to change. So sorry about that. Darn. Is that what you thought you might be missing? Hi, Donna. Oh, thank you so much. What a sweet thing to say. Donna says she loves my channel, and I love hearing that because I'm always hoping that I'm helping and giving you some ideas about how to use your stamps. If you've never stamped before, hopefully I'm giving you some ideas to start stamping and maybe find a new hobby that you might love. Alrighty, I'm seeing some hearts. Thank you. Cynthia says she can't wait to see today's video. Okay, so Janet is a friend of mine here in Lincoln. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska, if I didn't share that. So Janet, if you can just text me on my phone, not now, but after the video. Text me on my phone and let me know where you're seeing it Friday, because I thought I had changed everything, but I'm here now. So, and this will obviously be on replay. All right. Cynthia, she mentioned today in our meeting last night. Mentioned today. Okay. Yeah. Well, last week I was off. I didn't feel well in the middle of the week, and that's why I wasn't live on Wednesday, so I had to move to Friday, so I had to change all my marketing and communications to Friday, and then today I probably didn't get everything changed back because I focused on my team meeting last night, our make and takes, everything ready for my girls last night, and I might have missed something somewhere. I probably did. Okay, anyway, let's get going. I'm excited to show you what I have today. I have a few things to show. Let's go ahead and let me put the camera down to my workspace. I have to click this. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to show you a few things that I did show last time. So if you want more of what I'm showing on this particular card that we're going to make, this is the first card we're going to make. This was my team card last night for our mystery card, and I thought, well, I'll just show you that one. I'll just show that to everybody. So this is how this works. So I said on my page there's a surprise on the inside. Well, this is the surprise. So it's a card in a card, and I'm going to show you how to use your blending brushes and then a few extra things today. So we're going to make this one, but then I have another one we're going to make, and I'll show you some fun things to do with masks that I didn't show you last week. So first we're just going to start with a piece of basic white cardstock. we are going to stamp our image. I have to kind of dig out. I've got one stack of stamps here for one card, and I'm going to move those out of the way so they're right here. Sorry, I've got my arms in the video, and then my other stamps for another card. So normally, if you've watched me very much, you know that I usually only feature one bundle every week and show you multiple ways how to use that bundle and things you can do with it. But this week is a little bit different. I am showing you this one again. I've showed this a couple times. This is my featured bundle for my club, my Be Creative Club this month. Anyone can join, demonstrators can join, anyone can join, newbies can join, anybody can join. You can join, if you join, it's a few dollars less than if you just take it as a single class, but you can try it for 1 month and just take it as a single class as well. I'll show you the samples in that card later, but we are going to make 2 cards today with both of these stamps rather, in here. But I have some new things to show you that I didn't show last week. Some of it will be repeat, but not everything. So I'm going to try and watch your comments. They don't stay up. They come and go. So I hope I am not missing anybody. Yes, I'm live. Okay, I'm live on Facebook, Janet says. And then my live on YouTube. Anyone watching on YouTube? Usually my friend Pam is watching for me to make sure I'm live in both places. So if anybody's watching on YouTube, would you please let me know that you're watching on YouTube? Just so I know. If it's not live on YouTube, I'll post it to YouTube right as soon as I'm off of the video. So, perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and start with these beautiful dies. Now, the Thankful Garden stamps and dies. I didn't show you the dies. We are going to use them today, but these are all the dies that come with it as well. And then 5 stencils. So, getting out my blending brushes and a few tidbits for our cards today. You can use either small blending brushes for what I'm going to show you, or you can use well, okay, so in catalog and online it says blending brushes, and then it also says small blending brushes. This is obviously the size for small, and then this is the size for large. But they don't say large, so they just say blending brushes, or they say small blending brushes. So it won't say large is what I'm trying to say, so I don't want to confuse you by saying large. There's just 2 sizes, blending and small blending. Okay, I'm going to start with my Memento black ink. And when it's a big stamp like this, you've heard me say this before, but I like to start with the stamp upside down and then just pat really well with Memento ink. Now, Memento ink is a felt-based ink pad. Our colored ink pads are foam-based, so you don't want to push as hard as I did with the sponge ones, the foam-based, as opposed to the Memento black. Because when it's felt, you just need to really make sure you're getting a lot of ink on your stamp, because it's not gushy or spongy, obviously. Okay, so there's our stamped image. Janet says I'm up on both. Okay, good. Thanks, Janet, for checking. I really appreciate that. That's very helpful to know. Okay, now I have showed you the past couple weeks a couple ways to do this. So each of the masks is numbered. You can't see this, but there's a tiny, can you see it? You can kind of see it right there. There's a tiny number there. They're all numbered like that. And then what I did to keep myself lined up on my with my masks was I took this is mask number 4, and this is the one with the open leaves. Let me get that out of here for a second. So I took this mask over the top, the leaf one over the flowers, and then I used the magic marker to just put like the points of the leaves. So there's these leaves are all marked with a point. And what that does is it just helps me, and I did that on all 3 of the blossoms. So there's 3 blossoms and 2 leaves. So that's one way to really help line it up. Now another way, if you don't want to mark up your masks, I tend to really, and now I'm looking for those leaves to line up, and I'm getting those lined up, and that helps me right away get my blossoms lined up. I'm going to move these out of the way because they're in the way. So now the other thing you can do, well, 2 things. All right, so another tip is, and this is, I was talking about one of my friends, my friend Diane that usually watches live, about, she says her mask always slips, and that can happen. So one thing that I do, so let me see how this is going to go here. Let's get those leaves lined up again. Have I got the one? Yeah. I always feel for the one to make sure it's going the right direction. So line this up. And then it's helpful to go ahead and not only tack down your mask, but to tack down your paper. And the reason that that's going to be helpful is, I'll show you in a minute, especially if you don't want to mark the leaves on your blossom stencils. So you're just going to take a pencil, and then as long as you've got your cardstock adhered down, so I use a light masking tape. This is actually Post-it tape. You could use a Post-it note. You don't want something that will tear your paper. And then you're gonna, okay, so wait a minute. Keeps moving when I move my hand off of it. I'm moving it. Okay, we don't want that to happen. This is a Post-it tape I just get from Amazon, and I think it comes 2 to a pack, but you could use any light, very tacky tape that isn't gonna really tear your cardstock when you take it off. And now I'm gonna tack down my mask, and my paper's already tacked down. So now I'm going to mark this little V right here. This is why Stampin' Up! Put these on here, because each of the masks has this little V. So I'm going to mark this. Now I only did this actually the first time I worked with my matte stencils, because then I marked the leaves later. I saw another demonstrator give that tip. And then, oops, why did I take it up? Because we're going to do some brushing on, so I didn't need to bring it up yet. And now I am looking for that little V to match up. And I'm also looking at my flowers here and my leaves. Everything's lining up now, so we're good to go. Now I'm going to take some light pink. You take your lightest one. I want to get those 2 brushes for my other card, get those out of the way. I'm going to grab some pretty and pink ink, and I'm going to rub it on here, and then I'm going to just kind of blot it off to the side. And now I'm just going to not just go all the way around. I showed this last week. I'm going to make some dark splotches, for lack of a better word. We don't really want it splotchy, which is why we're kind of stamping off with our brush before we go to our paper. But I want just a few darker places, so I'm going to kind of focus on those places first. And this is what helps give a lot more depth to your images when you're using stencils. Listen, if you've been afraid or hesitant to use stencils, don't be. My friends, you cannot go wrong with this. Okay, so now you can see I have a few dark spaces. Now I'm just going to very lightly go over those edges. And that's going to give me, I'm not pushing at all, and I didn't re-ink my brush. So I'm just going over, and then when we lift this up, oops, voila. We have a lot of depth. You can see that in the film. All right, so there we go with that step. I'm going to lay this stencil aside. Let's see, I'm going to pick a place to put those so I don't get mixed up. Now I'm going to take my next darkest color. I'm going to make sure this is down tight, because I'm going to show you each time how to match up those notches, even though I haven't been doing it with the notches lately. As I said, after I marked my leaves, I didn't really need to use the notches, but now I'm going to, again, matching up the notch up here. This is mask number 2, matching up those leaves, the tips of the leaves, kind of looking all around to get everything lined up well. Okay, there we go. I'm going to stick everything down. Make sure it's anchored down. You just don't want your mask to move. Now, I will say honestly that I've gotten to really not using masking tape, but just to be sure, especially if you're beginning, you want to make sure you use something to tack everything down. Okay, hang on. This is not matched up here at the flowers. Something must have moved. Let's try this. I was looking over here and it looked like something had moved. I'm guessing what moved actually was my paper, but my cardstock, but it'll be okay. But as I said, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just brushing off a little bit of this darker ink. This is Mellow Mambo. And then brushing that on to get some highlights here. And then I'm going to, kind of looking at this for a minute, then I am going to go back over it very lightly just so we get a little bit more of that Mellow Mambo kind of blend in there, but I'm not doing this. Now you can do that, and it's really pretty that way too. I just like, can you see all these beautiful nuances? I don't know if you can really see those well, but it really makes everything blend together and look really nice together. So another thing I taught last time we did this, these exact masks, was use your cleaning mat or your chamois, and then if you have like a damp paper towel, or you could use a microfiber towel, and then just blot it off, right? Because this way, if there's any ink on the back of your stencil, it's also going to come off on your cleaning pad. Don't rub, because these little pieces of the stencil can bend, so you don't want those to bend. So that's a good way to clean your masks. Now we're going to go to a little bit darker color. This is the chamois that comes with the glass mat. I just keep it in with my other cleaning chamois. Okay, now we're going to grab our third stencil for the blossoms. Going to get those lined up here too, kind of like so. There we go. And this time, it moves when I move my hand off of it, so that's kind of annoying. This is not right. I'm looking at the points of the leaves and I'm realizing I'm not quite matched up here. There we go. That looks better. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. Now, I'm trying a new color combination today. This one is Berry Burst for the details, and I just moved it again. You just have to make sure that you look at it if you've already placed it and then you're getting ready to use your blending brush. So, as I said, when I'm doing this on my own and I'm just playing around in my craft area, I don't use very much tape, if any. Usually I use tape at least on the mask itself, but I haven't been doing it on the cardstock, but I highly recommend it. That's how I started and gained more confidence doing it, so that's how I did it. Okay, Berry Burst. Berry Burst comes off a lot more pink than purple in this, and there you go, my friends. Isn't that pretty? So, now, you do the same with the leaves. I'll do the leaves really quick. They go pretty fast. Let me lay down my masks. My ones that have ink on them, we'll grab this. And for this flower today, I used the 2 in-color greens that I like so much. And they're so pretty for spring. So I used Summer Splash and Shy Shamrock. Okay? So let me get those over here. Now, I talked about this in another video that I used these stencils. I don't have a designated brush for each of my colors. I kind of just do like corals, you know, reds and berries all in one. But for these videos, I do have just one color on each brush. You can wash your brushes. I don't really recommend it because sorry, I was looking at the screen for a minute. I don't recommend washing them because you want color on your brush. That's what makes it really blend and be beautiful. And it just does that better if you have a lot of color on it. So this is Summer Splash, and I'm coming from the top. Again, this is how I'm doing the shading. So I'm coming from the top and just not rubbing all over. But as I said, if that's easier for you and that's more fun for you to just do it like that and get her done, then you do you, because it's beautiful that way too. Now I'm just very lightly going over the leaf to make sure that I have, and that's very subtle, but there is shading from the top of the leaf is darker than the bottom. And then I'm going to take my last stencil, number 5, and let's get this one down. And for this now, we're going to use Shy Shamrock. I've been using a lot of Shy Shamrock this spring. It's one of my favorite greens. I guess I started really pulling it out for St. Patty's Day in particular. Let's grab the Shy Shamrock ink and the Shy Shamrock brush. Now, if you really want to have all of your brushes just one color of ink, then it would be wise to use a labeler, you know, and type out the names of your exact names so you know exactly what color it is. So I'm focusing on my stenciling here. So I did the same thing. When I inked my brush, I came down from the top into the stencil so that it kind of looked the same. Yeah, and there you go. You can kind of see a little bit how that all blends together. Anyway, I'm really happy with that. Now, let's go ahead and clean this one. I'm going to show you something that I did not show the last time I showed blending. The first time I showed it was a week or 2 ago, I think. But I've learned some things and done some things differently because I've been continuing to play with these. Okay, so now I do have this one actually already done and die cut. But what I did want to show, as I said, let me just set that aside for a moment. Let's take off this tape. I just put my tape, I reuse it, so I've got it taped up on my camera stand here. One thing that I didn't show was, let me grab the dies. This die, I could not figure out for the longest time how this cuts out, because there's no separate stamp that goes with this die. You cut it out of this itself. So let's see, I kind of have to twist it around. It's right, it's this group of flowers here, those 3 flowers. And for the longest time, I couldn't figure out on this whole thing, kind of have to spin her around, there we go, to see where you cut them out to add more depth and texture to your image on your card. So I'm going to go ahead and tack these down. I haven't checked my comments, so I can still see a few that were up earlier, but I haven't refreshed my screen. So if you are commenting and I'm not commenting back, that's why. Okay. I'm going to grab my die cutting machine. I need to get that out of there. This is going to be very close to the camera, so the camera is probably not going to focus. I'm sorry about that. And I keep hitting it as well, so we'll just live with it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and die cut on my image here. And I think that moved. Yes, it did move, of course. Facebook Live, you know, it's live, so nothing is cut out. All the boo-boos, all the mishaps, etc. But I like it live so they can visit with you. Otherwise, you know, I could just make straight videos, but I like the social part of it. I like to come on and talk with you and see what you're thinking, how you're doing. So I love when you share with me. Okay, so you can see what happens there then with that little place to cut out. Now, you could just use those flowers with a few of the little leaf stamps and dies that come in the set. So if you, let me move my stencil here for a moment, but like you could do, these leaves are smaller here than they really are in person. So let's take a look at it. So you could use these leaves, you know, just stamp them. And if you wanted a smaller focal point on your card, you could do that. But I just wanted to show you that because it took me forever. Now, in the PDF tutorial, I'll be sending this to my newsletter subscribers this week. So if you want to get the PDF tutorial for this, I'll have a picture of how I lined up that die so that you can do that as well. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put our card together. So I'll show you how to do this fun fold. It's a fun fold that anybody can do, whether you are a brand new stamper or you're an advanced stamper. Also, can you please let me know, those of you that are watching? Oh, hi, Diane. Oh, good. Hi, Jackie. So people are coming on. Can you guys hear me well enough? I felt like on my live video last week, the sound was not as clear as usual. So this time I made sure to turn up the volume on my computer. With this video programming I'm using, this is Wink of Stella. I'm just adding some shimmer on these sweet little flowers that we're going to pop up. The video software I'm using recommends that you use your computer volume only and not your phone. So my phone is up here, so it's above you, and my computer's to the left to see my face, and that's, you probably won't be able to see this, but that's how it's all set up. And Diane, the sound is good. Now, I don't know if you can see the shimmer. I don't think you can see how pretty it is, darn. But it's shimmery. You just have to trust me. If you don't have Wink of Stella, you need it in your life. I'm just saying it'll make your life better. Now, when you do the leaves like right down here, you can get a little bit of green on the flower. And so I'm going to just go ahead and cut that off because I don't want it on there. I won't be able to cut all of it off, but I'll be able to cut some of it off. Like there. Okay. Probably no one would notice that but me, but there you go. Okay, let's get this ready to put on our card. Going to grab, I mean, you could Wink of Stella your whole flower. I mean, you can never have too much bling. Let's see, this goes like this. Now, if you wanted to just put this up here someplace, you could do that. You don't have to match it up, but I did match it up on my sample card, so I think I'll go ahead and match it up here. So there's a little bit of, I don't know, I think maybe I will move it. I think I'm going to just kind of put it in the center. We'll see how we like that. I'll show you my sample card when we get that far. All right, let me show you how more to do with this. So with my team last night, as I said, this was our mystery card. So I gave him all the dimensions. Oh, I already had this done. But anyway, you get to see. I've been making a lot of these, so I just stuck them in an envelope. This is my team mystery card. So I give him the instructions, the measurements, the dimensions of everything. Did I already say that? And then they make their card without actually seeing my sample. So they got the direction to have a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 cardstock folded at 4 1/4. They were also given the instruction to have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 designer series paper. This is from the Lovely Garden suite of products. This is also part of what my customers get, my Be Creative Clubbers get this month. And you can still sign up through tomorrow. Again, I'll show you the cards for that in a moment, but let's go ahead and continue with our card. So now, what I did for this card is, and I did do it ahead of time to just kind of save a little bit more time on the video. I think I did it for both. Oh, I guess I didn't do it for everything. We need to do a little more die cutting, it looks like. I cut out the green leaf, so we're going to use these. This is the In Color Sparkle paper, so we have that already done, but we need to do the white leaf. So let me grab the die for these. So there's some really beautiful, just decorative dies. I don't know, embellishment type of dies in here. We just need, actually, this is the one I cut out, the sparkle paper. This is going to be the one we're going to cut out the white. And actually, for saving time, I might just do that off camera. So talk amongst yourselves. So let everybody know where you're from and see if you can reach out, and if there's by any chance somebody from your own area. Now, not everybody that's going to see this video is on live, but that's okay. We still want to know where you live, and if you can find a buddy, and by buddy, I mean somebody that lives in your area or maybe close to your state. Okay. I know I shouldn't try and talk to you when I walk away from my camera. I do it every time just because I'm like, well, I don't want to leave them out and feel like I'm not there with them when I'm die cutting or away from the camera. I just forget sometimes. Hopefully with the computer volume on high, it didn't make much difference. You could still hear me. Okay, there's our white one. And we'll go ahead now. Now I think we have everything, including the little label that we're going to use. And now I think we can do the front of our card. So now this little label I cut out from the Spotlight on Nature dies. They are 2 sets of decorative circles, and there are so many dies in that set. They're not on sale and they're not retiring, which is a great thing that they're not retiring. Let me see, how much did I? With love, that's what we want, the greeting from this stamp set. But I have used them a lot. By the way, I will, as I said, I think I told you I'll be sending the complete project sheet to my newsletter subscribers this week. There should be a link below the video if you're watching on YouTube. And, oops, I want to put this, clean this on my chamois. If there isn't, and if on Facebook after the live, I'll put a link to my newsletter in case you haven't gotten on my newsletter yet. So you can get all the dimensions and the photos, etc. of this. So I'll be sending that out. All right, let's go ahead and get this guy put together. I'm going to take this white leaf and this. So when I said in color, I kind of brushed over that. But so this year the in colors, the 2024-26 in colors, have a matching set of glimmer paper. So there's one in every color. So there's Pretty in Pink, there's Shy Shamrock that we're using today, there is Summer Splash, and this is Summer Splash. I just thought it looked pretty with the pinks, and I'm going to put it in front of the white leaf, and we're going to I'm going to just kind of dry fit this for a moment. I'm going to come down. I don't really want to cover up too much of the white leaf, but I want it to kind of be the background. Let's see what happens here if we go like this. And then our greeting will go here. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. So now, just going to kind of turn this over here, and I will use dimensionals on this, kind of pop it up. I have used stamps and with coordinating, whoops, I want that to kind of stay in place. So I'm going to take a mini glue dot and kind of attach them to each other. So I don't want it to show, so I'm going to just go right here and attach that white leaf to the back of the blue one, just so it doesn't come apart while I'm trying to put it down on my card. I just didn't use stencils a lot. We've had some beautiful sets with stencils. There's a rose one as well. And then we're going to look at the Enduring Beauty today because it's such a fabulous price right now. I don't want you to miss it if you're interested. And then this will go like this, or do we want to go like this? You know what? I think this needs to go more of an angle, so I didn't push it down. So I'm going to very gently, after all that trying to line it up, here we go, moving it. So as long as you don't really push these down until you're really ready, you can usually move them without too much trouble. I want this to kind of go this direction a little bit more to the left. So let's try that. And then, okay, I think that'll be better. Anyway, you can putz with that however you want to. We're going to go ahead and put the dimensionals on the back of this. But anyway, we did have fun with our mystery stamping last night. So they brought their supplies, or if they wanted to be on, if they were on Zoom with us, they can also stay on and craft with us. And make their mystery cards too. So that was fun. We've been doing that the past couple of months. We spend maybe 25 minutes at the most, like 30 minutes to do our mystery cards. So I thought, well, I'll just share that with everybody else today. So the measurements were very easy. I'll review those with you in a minute. Let's go over here with this guy. And then, well, I did my leaves differently on my other card. I'll show you that in a moment. Let's go ahead and let's just get this going. It doesn't really matter, but it's not placed as well on my sample card, but I'll show that to you in a moment. So let's just go like this. You know why? Because what's really bothering me is I like for my stems and my images to kind of be, oh, let's just go with it, to kind of be anchored down. Let me show you what I mean. So on this card, I moved my flower this direction because I have my leaves going this, my green leaf, my sparkle leaves going that way more than this card. I have them going that way, and it's messing me up. Anybody perfectionistic about their cards like I'm being silly about this today? Okay, so now we'll put gems on that later, but let's work on the inside of this. So the inside, the other dimensions that they got were that they needed a piece of white that was 8 by 5 1/4 and then scored down the long side at 4. So it fits in our card like this. And this is, of course, not cut the way it's supposed to be cut. Hang on, let me get my trimmer. I made several of these this morning and must have missed getting this one cut. So we're going to cut this at 5 1/4. And then let's hope the rest of it is cut the way it's supposed to be. Let's try it. This is going to go like this. So the card in the card. There we go. That's what's supposed to happen. Hi, Pam. Oh, good. You're making friends. All right. That makes me happy. All right. Hopefully you found somebody that you can say hello to when you watch. Hi, Lisa. Oh, never late. Hi, Sue. Oh, in England. I love England. Diane's in South Dakota. Cynthia says she just got the same DSP in her, or she got some brushes. And Cynthia's perfectionist. She's got her hand up. Yeah. You know, I try not to be, but it's just in my blood. I just sometimes it gets the better of me. Okay, let's go ahead and they have the other instruction to put a piece of 2" by 5 1/4" designer series paper. They didn't have to be matching. Mine are matching for this card, but they don't have to be. Then we'll put that on the inside of this card. Now, we should have done some stamping. We're going to do some stamping on this side. So I'm going to lay it out this way, which just feels altogether wrong because we're stamping. Okay, let me think that through again. Yes, we're stamping on this side. So I'm going to kind of line that up on the center of my grid paper. I'm going to go get my Memento Black. Let's do Thankful for You. I really like the greetings in this stamp set. I send a lot of thank you cards. I don't know, while you're sharing with each other and finding a friend, I don't know if I shared that. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska. I try to remember to share that at the beginning. Okay, I'm probably getting my head in the picture here. Trying to get this straight. It's fairly straight. You know, we're going to go with it. All right, now I did a little more decorating on this. Let me pull some stamps out here that I used on this. I used that one, and maybe that's all for this. So I took the Try Shamrock ink and this little 4-leaf leaf, and then I stamped it going kind of away from my greeting once full strength, and then I turned and did it a little bit, and you can't really see that in the video, but it's there. It's just a little bit of a shadow. So I'm going to do that again up here, only I'm going to have my leaves go the other way. So I'm kind of going, well, I have to stand up so I can see through my stamp and see what I'm doing. Okay, kind of up like that, and then I'm going to do again stamping up. So I don't know, it's hard to see, but it's there. Okay, then I'm going to take Mellow Mambo. It's the brightest color in our card. So this little stamp, so let me show you on the front of the stamp set. So there are these little, and these tiny ones are all separate little stamps, and really what they are for is for the inside of your flowers. I didn't do that today. It just takes a little bit of extra time, but I am going to use one of those. This is the second largest, just for a little pop of color here and make it look a little bit like a flower. I'm just going to have that kind of coming out of my leaves right there, and then that makes it pretty. Oh, I have green on there. Well, you know, just handmade cards. They sometimes have splotches. So I've got that, and so this is going to be like this and then like that. So we do need an inside greeting, and for the inside I have, well, I meant to, yes I did. Okay, cut out a label from the Country Corners dies. This is on sale. They were $28, they're now $19.60. I have used this so much, these dies. So this is this third largest one that I cut out of basic white. You've already seen me die cut today, so you know how to do that, even if you've never seen it before. All right, then let's put You Make a Difference on the inside. Just have to locate my stamp. Where are you? It's not that small of a stamp. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Come on, let's go. I just had it because I made this card in a different color earlier. Okay, well, since we're making friends today and I'm looking for a stamp that should not be hard to find, but it has temporarily disappeared. So share your favorite color. If you are a Stampin' Up! Person, share your actual Stampin' Up! Color. If you are A new person that just happened on to the video and you don't even know what Stampin' Up! Colors names are, or probably even care about it at this point. Oh, finally, goodness gracious. Then share if you like pink's best, red's best, purple. If your favorite color is black, there are some people whose favorite color is black, and there's no judgment here. Any color you share that you like is perfect. If you watch me at all, you know my favorite color is pink. So, of course, we're using pink today. You make a difference. I love this for a thank you card. I like a lot of colors. I really like red a lot as well. I also like soft blues. So, any kind of a light, soft blue I think is really pretty. I'm going to go grab my, Shy Shamrock again, and we're going to do kind of a similar thing we did on the inside, but I'm just going to do one stamp here, and I'm stamping off, which is okay. Don't be afraid to do that. It kind of adds depth to your picture or your image because it makes everything kind of expand. It makes your vision expand off of what you're working on. Then let's grab that little center flower stamp again. We'll go back to our Mellow Mambo. And we'll do this sweet little, it's not a flower, but I think it kind of looks like a flower. It's meant to be the inside of one of the bigger flowers, like so. And I just thought that added some interest and made it pretty. Let's go ahead and grab some dimensionals. Now that it's getting to be spring, I'm liking green a lot. I always say I think the Lord's favorite colors are green and blue because he made grass green and the sky blue. So we have so much of that in our colors in nature. Okay, so now we've got that. Now we've got this. Let's go ahead and put it in the middle of our card. And that is, my friends, one of the easiest fun folds you'll ever learn. And I'm going to put this down with Tombow because, and Tombow is liquid glue. If you're like, well, what is Tombow? It's liquid glue, and it really holds cards down well. Let's go ahead and centering this on the inside of our card. And then all we need is some bling, so we don't want to leave that out. I'm using for bling the Adhesive Back Sequins Trio. This is on sale, and it is on the last chance list. How did I get this open? I don't remember the discount, but it is just, oh, I don't remember the exact discount, but it's almost, I think it's almost half. Maybe it's a lesser percentage than half, but there's, and I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock ones. We could use pink. I did start to use pink. You know, pink is always good. But I like the Pretty Peacock with the Summer Splash. No, that's, yeah, Summer Splash. That's right. Okay, so now what I did, I really blinged this up. So I did actually do what I rarely do. I put one on every middle of the card because I have quite a few of these, and so I'm just going to go ahead and use them up. As a demonstrator, I don't use retired products in my videos or my classes. I do keep full packs and give them away sometimes for prizes, but for demonstrating, let's see. I know I did the whole thing. I got bling everywhere on this one. Like so. I think that's it. Yeah. What do you think? Cynthia, your favorite color is green. Almost every shade of green. Well, that is a good color to have your favorite color because there is green everywhere all the time. I like green too. Actually, there aren't too many colors I don't really like. I use all colors in my crafting. Okay, let me put that. Okay, now that's that. That was our main card for today. This is the one you're going to get the PD or the project sheet for on my email list. What's that? Dimensional was showing. What happened? We lost the bling. Wait a minute, people. I'll fix that later, but so you know what it looks like. And in person, that's very shimmery and pretty. So now let me show you another card, and I'm going to show you a couple of cards. So last night, well, let me make the card first because I want it to be a surprise. So this is a new in color. I don't know if you can see how pretty it is because it's, you know, card colors and designer paper never shows as pretty as it really is. And we're going to do some embossing today. We're not making 3 cards today. I am going to give you supplies for 3 cards for a minimum $35 order. You guys, this is a big giveaway this week to get 3 cards for a minimum of a $35 order because usually I have to charge at least $40 to $45 in order to come out okay because I'm obviously paying the postage for it to get to you as well. Let me clean. Now I have to really make sure this stamp is clean because we're going to use Versamark instead of black ink. So let me find my cleaning pad. Again, it's something that disappears for some reason. And what I just did was I used the embossing buddy, which what that does when you rub it on your paper, it makes your embossing powder not stick. I'm going to make sure I have this really good cleaned. Really, really, really good before we put it in Versamark because Versamark is clear. And if I still had black ink on here, it would come off. Hopefully I got it clean. Now I was jibber-jabbering and then got sidetracked. Squirrel! That happens all the time. Okay, so, oh, you guys, never mind. I'm not even using that stamp. I'm going to switch over to the Enduring Beauty because this stamp set has the dies and it has 5 masks as well. We're going to look at these today. And they're all on sale. The bundle was $50.75. So, and it has a set of dies as well. So you have the dies in this beautiful label and these beautiful detailed leaves and flowers. So the dies are on sale. They were $26. Is this right? This can't be right. Yeah, they were $26 and now they're $10.40 for the dies. The masks were $12.50, now they're $7.50. The stamps were $20 and now they're $14. So they're all on sale for a grand total. That's the grand total. The grand total of $31.90. If you want to take a screenshot, there it is. Otherwise, I'll have this listed all on my blog. So on my blog, createwithjoey.com, you can find, let's make sure we go over this one more time with the embossing buddy. You can find my class to go. So on the main page, there's a menu across the top, and I think it says clubs and classes. And under that list, if you click on it, it'll say class to go, and that's where I update my weekly class. So we're going to use this gorgeous big stamp, and I'm going to show you something else you can do with your stamps and your stencils. I'm going to make sure this is inked really well because I want the whole image on this. This is really easy, and we're not going to do, oh, wait a minute, let me see how this, I think it goes like this. We're not going to do all 5 stencils on this because I have another thing to show you that is really easy. It's faster than what we just did. Even though once you kind of get an assembly line with those other stencils and you just do all of your first stencil on all of your cards first. If you're making 5 cards, you do all of stencil number 1. When I want this Versamark to sink into the colored cardstock really well. Then I'm going to take my embossing powder And then you do, if you're making multiple cards, then you do all your stencil 2s with your cards, and then you do all your 3, etc. Does that make sense? Instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 4 on one card, you're going to, and then do that again on 5 separate cards. You're going to do all of your step 1 with your stencil 1 on all of your, oh, I should not have set that down. Joe and Elizabeth. Let's see. I think we're okay. We're okay. We're going to go with it anyway. All right. And I'm going to take, this will be noisy, so I'll try to get away from that. Sometimes I start from the back. I'm going to get closer to my computer, and hopefully you can still hear me over the heat tool. So I start heating it from the back, usually, for 2 reasons. 1, it doesn't blow the embossing powder, and 2, it kind of curls it from the back, and then when you heat it from the front, it kind of curls it back. So it's starting to melt. I don't know how well you can see this. Oh, there, you can see it. So I'm just going to follow with my heat tool. Follow the image. Don't do this. That's kind of counterproductive. I see people do that all the time. Just follow where it's melting. Can you see? I think you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going all around the edges, making sure the edges melt like so. I know it's kind of hard to see on this very light blue cardstock. Okay, so just checking around the edges. Sometimes the edges, it's easy to miss them. Okay, but you don't want to overheat it, because then it isn't shiny. If you overheat it, it loses its shininess. So just be careful with that. Okay, so there's our image. I just love this color. This is called Cloud Cover, and the only issue is the ink was not the right color. So Stampin' Up! Sent it back and said it needs to be redone so it's exactly the right color. But when the catalog goes live, the first part of May, I hope it's here. It may not be here yet, but I'm happy that they are very careful about their quality control. So here are the 5 masks for the layers of for the Enduring Beauty. This is not Layers of Beauty. Okay, let's do our thing here. This is going to go faster. I'm going to go ahead and tack down my cardstock. Now, I'm going to line up this. Let's see, I have to kind of see, where are my flowers? I always look for this flower. And where is that flower? Is that? Now this one obviously didn't mark my, where's the number? There's the 1. Okay, so this is the right size. Well, let's see what we've got. There we go. I think we're getting it. So this flower and that flower, I look for those 2. Now we'll go ahead and, I'm just looking for the edges of all the flowers here. And just going to tape this down. Now I'm going to use Lost Lagoon, because I found that I liked it the best. Gosh, you guys, one of my lights was off. I didn't realize that. You probably were like, we can't say anything, and I wasn't seeing your comments. Okay, we're going to take Lost Lagoon, and I'm going to do what I did before. Just get it good and inked up on my brush, and then kind of daub it off a little bit. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just kind of make some splotches of color instead of just going around the whole thing. Let's do one down here. And I'm brushing my brush into the cardstock from the stencil, and that's because I don't want to catch any of those edges. So I'm going from the out, and I'm not going all the way in. I'm just making my I know that's not an artistic word, splotches, but that's kind of how I look at it. Okay, so we're getting some of these places a little bit darker. And I'm holding down pretty tight right here, because you're not going to see as much different on colored cardstock as you would see on white, obviously. Now I'm going to go over, I'm going to hold down my stencil and very carefully, this is going to be tricky right here. I don't want to bend that, so I'm going to make sure I've gone over all the edges, because you do want ink all the way around. Okay, so there we go, and voila. Isn't that so pretty? I just think, and this is so easy. You can all do this. Whether you're an advanced stamper or a beginning stamper, you can make this card, because that's all we're going to do. We're going to take a little bit of the, I'm going to take just a paper towel, and I'm going to rub across my embossing, because that lifts off, maybe, I don't know if you can see here, but it lifts off the little bit of blue ink that's on the embossing itself, and then that just brightens up the white really quickly. Okay, let's make this card. This is going to be faster than the other one, because we're not doing all the layers. So we're going to just take, again, we're taking our card base, same exact fun fold, take our card base at 5.5 by 8.5, score down the middle at 4.25, burnish really well. Let's put this, now I did this card a little bit differently than I did my first one. Well, I'll show it to you. And let's going to put a little bit of a white matte here. That's going to help, kind of bring out the white embossing. Let's put this over. I love this card. I like pretty simple cards. Simple in the, I know my first card wasn't really simple, but I like simple in the way of not too many colors. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this on like so. Now my sample card, I used Lost Lagoon for my card base, but I didn't want to take away from this beautiful cloud cover. So I made this one, we're making this one with a cloud cover base instead. Here's our inside card. We know from our mystery card recipe, well, you don't have it, but I gave my girls, my team, they needed another piece. They needed a piece of designer series paper, 2 by 5.25 to put in the middle. Now on the outside here, we're going to do a little bit of stamping. I'm going to stay with that stamp set for the greetings for this. So let me grab my sample actually. And on this, we're going to put holding you close in my heart. Let me see if I can find that. Holding you close in my heart. And we're going to actually go for this. We are going to go with Lost Lagoon ink, since we don't have our cloud cover yet, but that's okay. Holding you close. Oops, nope. What am I doing, Joe? Okay, this is going to go like this. That's going to be like this. That's going to be... I just get thrown off by stamping on the left side of the card. This feels like I'm stamping on the back. I'm like, don't do it there. Don't do it there. Okay, so holding you close in my heart. Then there are some little tiny stamps in this stamp set as well. Let me get those out here. These are little tiny flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little more interest, kind of like we did to our first card. So you might have a stamp set that would work for this. It isn't. I'm going to stamp off for these inside flowers. These are the inside. This is two-step stamping, these little flowers. You might have something else that would work for this if you don't have this exact one or don't plan to get it. So there we go. So that's there, and then we need a greeting on the inside. I'm going to grab You Mean So Much. That's part of this stamp set as well. And then I'm going to actually use a punch for this. Just I did that just to make it faster. Let's go ahead and just go ahead and punch. This punch is continuing. I can't think of the name of it right now. I do better remembering things if I do my tutorial right before my Facebook Live and I did not have time to do it. It's always a little push getting everything in on the week of my team meeting because, well, you know, it's a big event. I have a lot prepared for them. We do a whole class of make and takes. We did 4 cards last night. With one of the new bundles actually, and we used all of the new ink colors. So I'm going to put this right. I keep having to check it. Yeah, we're just going to tuck this in here. You mean so much. And then what I did on my sample card, and I'm going to do the same thing. Actually, you guys, I'm going to live dangerously. And we do have cloud cover in our Stampin' Right markers. I have not even opened these. Let's see if I can get them open. We might just use our marker. And marker on our, just a little corner of this. Let's see if this will work. This probably will not work the best because this is such a big stamp. And who knows if I'm even getting it everywhere. Make sure if you do this, use the side of your marker. Do not push like that. Make sure you're using the side. And I'm not doing the whole stamp, so I'm just kind of going over these leaves. Let's see what this will look like. Now I'm going to huff on it. When you're coloring on your markers, I'm just going to do the very little corner here and hoping I got it. It's not perfect, but it's really pretty. Look at that. So if you're really wanting all 5 of the ink colors, you can buy the markers, and then you'll have all 5 of the inks because they come like this in a set. If you're a demonstrator, you can buy it now. If you're not one and you want to get things now, I would love to have you join my team. We have a very sweet, fun group of girls. Ladies. They're not girls, they're ladies. Most are hobby demonstrators, meaning that they join so they can just get the discount and be able to pre-order and all that. Some are doing it for a business and have very thriving businesses, but you never have to demonstrate anything. You don't have to hold classes. You don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. If you do want to, then I try and help you. I've earned 6 trips. So if you are trying to build a business, look how pretty that is. I can help you with that too. Okay, let's put some gems on this. For this card, let's see, what have we got here? I was going to use the ink color pearls. So here are let's just stay monochromatic with this, and we will add I gave the girls last night each 1 strip of these. They can order them now if they want them, but what they're making takes, I wanted them to have the pearls. Let's do this. So, and we could do Wink of Stella on this. All right, let me see. I can see you're chatting with each other. So I have one more to show you. This is my sample where I used the Lost Lagoon. It does show up. I think it does actually accent the flowers more, but I was hoping it wasn't going to take away from the cloud cover. So I'm not sure. I guess I didn't do my greeting here. I can do that. I'm happy you're making friends. I really feel like stamping should be done in a community. I mean, we obviously have a lot of fun just stamping on our own, but it's more fun to share it because not everybody, I know this is hard to understand, but that has got messed up. Well, anyway, I'm not going to take the time to do my greeting, but this is another greeting that's in that set. So there are those two. Now, I want to show you one more. Oh, and I forgot to show you my club cards. So we are using Thankful Garden for my club. You get about $21 to $25 worth of product. So you get some ribbon, you'll get some designer series paper, you get half a pack of the designer series paper, you'll get a pack, oh my gems are coming off here, a pack of the gems, and I send it to your door, or if you're in Lincoln, I actually hold my class in person as well. So I will put a link for that in my video description as well, or you can find it on my createwithjoey.com page under clubs and classes. So createwithjoey.com under clubs and classes. Now let me show you one more. Look at this one. So this, I used the other flower that is in this set, Thankful Garden. Thankful Garden, Thankful Garden. So we have these two flowers. This, my friends, is Timid Tiger, and then I put Calypso Coral ink on top of it, and then this is my thing. This is just like the first card, only with Timid Tiger, and same thing I did for this one with Enduring Beauty, only I did it with the first stamp set that we used. So we've got these two, and this is new designer paper coming out, and then the yellow in this is the new Darling Duckling. It's a yellow that has a little tinge of, I don't know, I'd say lime green or something. Here, I'm going to show you the new colors. So, well, I guess I did kind of show you when I showed you the markers. But these are the ink colors, minus, of course, cloud cover. So we've got Secret Sea, which is a deep blue that has actually a lot of green in it when you see it stamped. Timid Tiger, which is here, and Darling Duckling. Strawberry Slush. That's one we used to have as an ink color, and it came back. So, and then we'll be getting cloud cover as soon as that gets reformulated. So, I'm so happy you spent some time with me today. Do you have a favorite? I'm going to look at my comments while you're voting on your favorite. So, this is the first one. This is the one with all the stuff. And then, whoops, that one doesn't have a flower. It's bugging me. I mean, a sequin on the flower. This was our second one with, this is Enduring Beauty, and this is Timid Tiger. So, can you guys see those? Let me bring these over a little bit. Let's do this. There, that's a little better. Okay, Pam says, Lost Lagoon and cloud cover go really well together. Yes. These go so well together that it was kind of a surprise, but I thought it was pretty. Sue, you're just starting your day. Mine's almost over. It's been really nice, Pam, chatting. 1:40 here. Probably chatting with our friend from England. I can catch the rest. I know not everybody can stay. Oh, Sue, what a sweet thing to say. Sue's saying it's a real treat to catch me live. She's our friend from England. All righty. Thank you, everybody. Let me bring you up here. Thanks again for joining me today. I didn't mean to go this long, but I wanted to show you all the things you can do with stenciling, and it isn't hard. So if you've been afraid to try it, or afraid that you just wouldn't know how to do it, or it wouldn't turn out well, you can't mess it up. The only way you can mess it up is if your stencil moves. So just make sure you tack down your paper. That's the biggest thing, is to tack down your cardstock that you're stamping on, so it doesn't move, and then you'll be better off with things working well for you and your stenciling. Let me know if you try it. I would love to know if it's something you have now or something you're going to purchase from what you saw today. And I'll be sending the card kits out for this class at the beginning of next week, and you only have to do a $35 order, but you do have to use the host code. It's the same host code as last week, so it's this one down here in the corner of your screen. So use that host code, and I'll send you the cards for this class, supplies, and for only a $35 order. So I'm hoping you'll find some things you want to order on the clearance rack. So many good deals right now. All right, everybody, thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.